We're still on the sides here, apparently.
It's all right.
It's all good. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dynasty Pylon. Today, we're going to go over the Cleveland Browns. I'm Mark. I got Brian over here.
What's up,
How
guys?
How you doing today, Brian?
I'm feeling really good. It's a good day. I like this team. I wanted to talk about this team for a while, so I'm excited to be here right now. And it's no Martin. Yes, no,
right? Yeah, the big one, right? No, no Martin. All right. So the Cleveland Browns had, I guess you could say, a not very good season last year. I mean, it was at times they were good, but then other times not so good.
I felt stupid because I feel like me and Martin both were like, just wait till Deshaun comes back the entire time. Like we just because he before he went out. I mean, think about it, he was the number 4 quarterback in all the NFL. And
number 4, number 5, definitely.
Yeah, right there. And I thought that he was going to end up coming back and just return to that form. But now that I think about it, that's probably stupid.
How long was he gone? Almost 2 full years.
700 days.
Yeah, 700. Yeah, almost. Yeah, God, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
When you put it that way. Yeah. Dang.
Not playing games, not playing with your teammates, and to be able to jump right in. No, there's no way, and that's why he had that PFF score. In those games he played of like was under 40, which was awful.
Yep. So they went 7-10 overall. Obviously, the big offseason acquisition was the big trade for Deshaun Watson, and then he got handed the lofty suspension. Do you think it was enough? The suspension? I don't take too much time going back there, but
no. But you know what? I thought he was going to get suspended the entire season. Personally,
that's what I think should have. Just why come back? Just take the whole season off, come back, have a whole off season. Like I think it would have been better for Deshaun if they did it. Better for the Browns.
But I also do know because they put him on the exemption list that they didn't want to. Basically, it would have been a 2-year suspension. So
yeah,
it's kind of like what do you do? I don't know. It's hard to say either way. But I thought it was going to be a lot longer.
Yeah, I did too. I thought we were looking at least a season, and then they were going to come back to it in this off season. Wasn't the case. Ended up getting 12 games.
I mean, he came in and he did okay, but they were doing fine without him.
Yeah,
Jacoby Brissett was doing fine. Nick Chubb was running the league, and just everything was fine. And they're going to be a decent 500 team. And then he came back.
And then he came in. I mean, about what you would expect, I think, for someone who hasn't played in that amount of time, 700 days, like we said. He only completed 58.2% of his passes. He went 99 for 170. He did have 1,102 yards.
It's because he has an arm on him. Yeah, he's
7 touchdowns, and he did throw 5 interceptions. Overall, his rating was 79.1. I mean, I'm not going to say that's that bad, honestly, for someone who hasn't played in 700 days.
But it's not Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was one of those guys. Because you remember, he's still young. Right now, Deshaun Watson is still
27.
one of the young. He's still 27 years old, guys. So we're talking about if he turns his career around, he could have a Big Ben type of career. And by the time it's over, we're talking about, oh man, this guy had a Hall of Fame. Though we had this big hiatus in the middle. So
I agree. So came in. I know they went 7-10. I don't know. Did they win any games with him? Oh, they beat Washington. So.
Yeah, they definitely.
Yeah, they definitely beat Washington. But for me, the biggest issue that I had being a Nick Chubb owner was when Deshaun Watson came in. Stefanski suddenly changing the playbook, and all of a sudden it was like, what is running the ball?
He had his new toy. He was like,
yeah.
Hey guys, we have a great offensive line who loves to run the ball. We have the number 1 running back in all the NFL. We have Kareem Hunt behind him. You know what we're going to go do? Pass the ball every play. It's just like, okay, that's smart.
Yeah, it would be like first and goal from the 3, and I'd be watching them, and it was pass, 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 and I'm just sitting there like, what is happening right now?
I mean, Deshaun sitting there listening
like,
in the headset.
I have Nick Chubb, run the ball. He was just almost non-existent, I felt like. And that's crazy considering you look at his overall stats. He had 302 carries for 1,525 yards and
Imagine what he
12
would have done
touchdowns.
if they actually
Ugh.
ran the ball in the last 6 games, last 5 games.
Those last 5 games, he could have had most of that was done before Watson got there.
I want to say he had almost 1,250 yards before Deshaun Watson came back. And
he was the number one rusher in the NFL. He was the number one rusher in the NFL. And then the last 5 games, he put up a measly 300 yards.
That's with splitting up time.
Mm-hmm.
That's splitting time with Kareem Hunt. This is nuts. The guy he could have had a 2,000-yard season, and they just stopped running.
But speaking of Kareem Hunt, he is no longer with the Browns.
Yeah,
so that could open the door for
with Jerome Ford or a Felton Jr., Demetric Felton Jr. I know you guys got John Kelly, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So some of the people they lost. There we go. They lost Jacoby Brissett. Obviously, he went to Washington. Greedy Williams went to Philly. I didn't realize that one. Jesse James, who was really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
He's in New Orleans now. One of the bigger losses, I think, Dearness Johnson goes to be the 4th-string running back in Jacksonville.
I don't know. I mean, I think Jerome Ford is going to be able to step right in and be fine.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt is going to be sitting there. If anyone gets hurt, Kareem Hunt's going to be picked up. He still is without a team right now.
Oh, yeah. He is.
Which is crazy.
He has to decide if he wants to get money or if he just wants to play at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the other big... No, nobody else is really a big name that they lost. So I just said Jacoby, Greedy, and Dearness. So that's actually not bad considering you're only going to lose that many people.
It seems like the team believes that they have another gear that no one saw, and we're going to see it this year. And that's going to be interesting, especially with these draft picks. I mean, for a team that did not have a 1st or 2nd round draft, they have some killers. Like, I'm surprised. Like, wow, you guys really did good. Some of these guys graded out 1st and 2nd round grades, and we got them in, Cleveland got them in the 3rd round, 3rd, 4th round.
Mm-hmm. Let's check out some of the people they brought in. They brought in Marquise Goodwin.
Marquise Goodwin. Oh, I always like Marquise Goodwin too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's like their receiving core is pretty stacked, if you ask me.
Like Marquise Goodwin is behind Elijah Moore, another guy they got brought in. Like unbelievable.
Like you said, Michael Ford, Rodney McLeod. They re-signed Anthony Walker Jr. That's a big one. That's there.
A great one.
Nobody else, I don't know other real big names that they brought in, but Dalvin Tomlinson. I guess that's a big defensive tackle. Yeah, Dalvin Tomlinson. He was at the very top. I forgot about him. Dalvin Tomlinson.
He was the big one.
Yeah. Dalvin Tomlinson short that defensive line, solid defensive tackle for sure.
I mean, playing next to Myles Garrett, that's going to be a terrible left side. You're not going to run the left side, guys. Nope. You already don't run away. You run away from Myles Garrett. Now you have to run away from him.
And not just that, but it seems like 4 years, $57 million. That's fairly cheap for defensive tackle. What about Zadarius Smith?
Is Zadarius Smith on the other side too?
Oh, and then the trade for Zadarius Smith. Yep.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, they made some moves.
That was already good. Seems to be getting even stouter with good guys that need on prove-it deals too.
Yeah. So that'll lead us. So since we're talking about that, we got the new faces here. Let's go ahead and move on to the depth chart.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like we usually do, we'll start with the offense. All right, typing things. I should have had this. But do you want to go over offense or defense?
We can do offense. I can do offense.
Okay. So, if you want to go over offense.
All right. So, the quarterback, of course, you got Deshaun. You got Deshaun. And then backing them up is going to be Joshua Dobbs, which is a good backup for them. Someone that comes in and is going to run a similar style. Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Kellen Mond is the 4th-string quarterback. It's crazy. And then running back, we got Nick Chubb, Jerome Ford, Demetric Felton Jr., and John Kelly Jr. Wide receiver, which is stacked. crazy. So they got Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Then behind them, they have Cedric Tillman, Marquise
Jesus.
Goodwin, David Bell, Jalen Darden, Anthony Schwartz, Jakeem Grant Jr., who was a great return man. Great return man. But it's a third string wide receiver. And then they got Dalen Baldwin, Mike Harley, and Rashawn Henry. So that wide receiver room is stacked. David Njoku at tight end is one of the best tight ends that no one talks about. And I love the fact that they have that. Then Jordan Atkins, Harrison Bryant, Zaire Mitchell Payton. Then left tackle, which is really weird. They really only have one left tackle, and then they have like 5 right tackles. So they have Jedrick Willis Jr., left guard. They have Joel Bitonio. They have Joe Gossett and Wes Martin. Center, we got Ethan Pochik. Luke Whippler, which I like that. I like that was a good pick. Nick Harris. And then right guard, Wyatt Teller, Drew Forbes. And then right tackle, Jack Conklin, who seems to be there all the time. James Hudson III, DeJuan Jones, which is a great one, and Tyrone Wheatley Jr. That's their offense right now, and they got.
We just ranked their offensive line as number 1, did we?
Yeah, like those are the guys. Yeah. I mean, their backups are starters on a lot of teams. So I love this offense.
I do like David Njoku. I'm glad he was able to stick it out and end up being the number 1 guy there, because there was a time where I think they were like looking to trade him, wasn't they?
Yep, they definitely were. But you know what? He started to show that he's a willing blocker. He's a willing in line tight end. So I mean, I think that was really important to see. And now you can block and go catch. He's special. He's going to probably be the key to their offense. If Njoku can do all the things he needs to do, he opens up everything for everybody else. I mean, of course, with Deshaun. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So their defense, right? They
Kellen Mond, though, they're 4th string. That's
Kellen. But
I was so high on Kellen Mond coming out.
Are you really surprised Kellen Mond is a 4th stringer? I mean,
no. I mean, I think if he had anything, he would have done it with Minnesota. So.
And Minnesota wouldn't have given up on them so quickly because they don't have anybody behind Kirk Cousins.
But to be fair, I mean, I don't think it would be too hard to outplay Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah,
that's Dorian Thompson Robinson. So,
but they're both running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So similar style to Deshaun, who is a good pocket quarterback, but who's very athletic, can do those things. So you want your backup to have a similar style, so you don't have to change the offense too often. Kellen Mond is not that same. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make the team.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Don't sleep on Dorian Thompson Robinson, though. I know Martin loves him a lot.
Yeah. That's why I think he can make the team and be that 3rd quarterback over Kellen Mond.
Kellen Mond, like practice squad, maybe.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
At this point, yeah. But yeah, like you're saying, those receivers, too, man. God, that's...
When you talk about Jakeem Grant Jr. being your 3rd best receiver behind a lot of people, and he's your
3rd best receiver at your 3rd receiver spot.
At your 3rd receiver spot, exactly.
Like, that's insane.
They're just stacked, and it's very. And there's no like huge superstars, just solid, very very solid.
I was gonna say that. It's like you don't have that like top 5, maybe not even. Well, no, I think Cooper can make top 10 pretty easily. Yeah, but you don't have that like top 5 like superstar receiver, but like you're so deep that you make up for that because you could just spread the ball around to just about almost anybody. And
I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones,
they're going to catch it. They're going to
Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore can catch the ball. Donovan Peoples-Jones can catch the ball. They're good targets. They're big targets. Along with Njoku, that receiving attack has a lot of weapons.
I agree. So if Deshaun can put it together, this offense, guys could be the limits.
Almost be scary.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll go ahead and transition to defense now. But before we get to the depth chart, I'm going to talk about a couple people here. Obviously, we're going to lead off with the heart, the soul, the number 1 guy on their defense, Mr. Myles Garrett,
the legend,
Mr. 6'4", 272 out of Texas A&M.
I think he's the best defensive player in the NFL. I think he's not. I've always said he's the best defensive end in the NFL, by far. But I think he's the best defensive player, period, in the NFL.
Hard to argue.
all around. You put him in there and you set him and forget him. And you know what? It's funny because we don't even realize how many sacks he really had. They ran the ball away from they passed the ball away from him, and yet he still has all these sacks.
Yep, he had 60 total tackles, 37 of them solo, 23 assisted. Like 37 solo tackles from a defensive end. That's insane.
While they're running away from you.
Right. And while you know the opposing offensive strategy is to do what? Where are you? We're going
the opposite
on the
way.
other side. Oh, you're here? We're here. Oh, you're here? We're over here. And he still puts up 37 solo tackles with 16 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflected.
The man is amazing. He's amazing. He's amazing. At that size, come on, man.
Yeah, it's just insane.
And he's a great hat fitter. He can see it from way out here. He can put it your helmet right on your head.
Oh, we can, yeah. We can ask Mason Rudolph that one. Yeah, ask Mason Rudolph. For me, though, that's what I think puts him above most of the other people is like you have these players who are super good, but yet, like, oh, they're only good when they want to be, or towards the end of games, oh, they kind of – no, every single play, like, whether they're getting blown out, whether they're blowing someone out, like, doesn't matter. Like, this dude just never takes a play off. Every single play, he's 120%. Like, I'm going to get that quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what you're going to do, you're going to run, you're passing. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make the play. Everything is going to go through me. And because I feel like he knows if he puts the pressure on them, everyone around him gets better.
Exactly. Like, it's just, I agree. It's hard to argue. I mean, like you can throw some other players out there. Like, I know some people be like Nick Bosa, but
Nick Bosa does it when he wants to do it. And Aaron Donald is getting old, and Myles Garrett is right in the perfect spot. He affects everything. Everyone who's there next to him. Exactly. TJ, who's super talented, unbelievably talented, but just he's not the same. He doesn't play the run the same as the pass. He does. He's not the same threat no matter what play is going on. You don't take Myles Garrett out. You wait for Myles Garrett to say he's tired. That's it.
Which never happens. Which almost never happens.
He plays 80% of every play, no matter what.
So then, going from him, we'll switch to a guy that I know I like. I think you like. I know Martin likes. He's up and coming. Not a lot of people know his name. But J.O.K, middle linebacker. Well,
he's more a will side linebacker.
Yeah, I say will. But it's Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
That's a good one.
Hey.
Koromoa. That's a good one. Good job.
I mean, only had him for 2 years. I lost him, unfortunately. I do like this guy a lot, and when he's on the field, he produces. So his stats might seem a little limited, but that's because his biggest knock is he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
He missed, I think, 4 or 5 games his rookie year. Or no, he might have missed more. I know he had a significant injury.
6 games his rookie year, and then
like another 4 or 5 this past year.
Yeah.
But in his limited time, he still had 70 total tackles, 45 solo, 25 assisted, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflected. So
I don't know. It's good. Beast. And then having him on this defense where you're getting so much pressure on the quarterback because you said Myles Garrett, and then the other end is Zarius Smith. The fact that you can have all that pressure and then Dalvin Thompson in the middle, I mean,
just makes their lives easier.
J.O.K is going to be able to make any play that he wants to make.
He just has to be where the ball kind of is
and
make that play, and then stay on the field. Stay on the field. Like, it sucks you went to a different fantasy owner because, like I said, I had to make my cuts, and I was hoping to get them back, but unfortunately, I was not able to.
It's gonna be so funny. Like you did all the legwork. You made sure you had them, and then someone else is going to hit the jackpot. It's unbelievable.
And it's stupid too because I don't know. I picked up somebody on Martin's advice.
Yeah.
I picked up Evan Hall, the backup in Indy. And now I'm like, maybe I should have just kept J.O.K. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Evan Hall is not going to be a good one. I don't even think Evan Hall, especially because the whole Northwestern thing, and then this whole Northwestern controversy and all that stuff. A lot of teams are going to stay away from Northwestern's players because they don't want them having them go to interviews and all that stuff. So if it's between you and a player that's not from Northwestern, it's probably going to be the player not from Northwestern.
Probably. All right, let's go ahead. Go over the rest of this defense here. And it's not just those two guys. They got some pretty, like I said, Myles Garrett, Dalvin Tomlinson. You got Jordan Elliott is the other tackle, nose tackle, defensive tackle. And then, like I said, Zarius Smith on the other side. But behind them, you got Alex Wright, Saiki, Ika.
Yeah.
You got Maurice Hurst, and then Ojobo Okoronkwo.
Okoronkwo. Yeah, I actually like him, though.
Yeah, no, I like him, too. So that's what I said. The defensive line is not only stout, and the starters, but their backups are pretty good too. And then, like I said, we got J.O.K, Anthony Walker, who's a beast, and then you got Sion Taki, who I know Martin likes a lot, and then Tony Fields, Jacob Phillips, and Matthew Adams behind them. Mm-hmm. And then you got the secondary, which might be the weakest part, but not because they're terrible.
No, they still got some players there.
No, they do. Denzel Ward, he's easily, top 10, top 5 corner. And then you got Grant Deplett, Juan Thornhill, who's pretty good. And then Greg Newsome, who's pretty good. And then behind them, you got Tony Fields, Martin Emerson Jr., Rodney McLeod, D'Anthony Bell, and then A.J. Green. What that chart? Were you looking at ESPN too?
Yeah. So it's funny because Thomas Graham Jr. is another guy who has a lot of talent. I know him because he played for the Bears. Mm-hmm. So I've seen him start. They have players on this team that are going to be able to produce even if someone gets hurt. This team just seems like a very, very solid team with depth no matter what. If one piece gets taken away, as long as it's not the main piece, everything will just keep on flowing.
And they're young, honestly.
Very young, yeah.
Like you look, like 27 for Thornhill. Anthony Walker is probably the eldest man, and I think he's only like 27. No, not even. Anthony Walker's only 27. Myles Garrett's only 27. Jock's 23. Like even Taki.
The only person is Darius Smith.
28.
Yeah, 28 is the.
Yep, 28. That's the oldest people here because I think Zadarius Smith is pretty close. Oh no, Delvin Tomlinson. I think he's.
30. Thompson.
Yeah, Tomlinson.
Yeah,
he's 30.
Yeah. Oh, he's 29. 29. So he's the oldest, old guy on the line. 29 years old. at a position that you can play until you're 37. Okay.
Right. Well, Zadarius Smith is 30, but
that's what you have though. And then they have backups. It's a
good mix though. You have a very young core with some good solid, but the veterans like Tomlinson and Zadarius Smith, like those aren't slouches,
Mm-hmm. They're playmakers that are used to being the stars on their team. So I love this.
And then the offense is freaking young too, man.
When we talk about Deshaun Watson, I feel like he's been around forever.
Right? And you're like, yeah, he missed almost 2 years, but dude's only 27.
He's 27. And you're like, man, Nick Chubb has been in here forever. He has to be old. He's also only 27.
Right? It's crazy. Man, all right. So now that we've gone over the depth chart, you want to go first for our one segment? I'm gonna
I do. Did we want to throw out those rookies? Because I do want to pull up some of the rookies. I love talking about them.
We didn't do. That's my one segment. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter because we're still going to talk about them. Because
we'll do it right now. We'll do it right now because I'm special.
Well, so we got in the third round, the 11th pick, they got Cedric Tillman, wide receiver out of Tennessee, which I love. I thought he is a steal because I liked him more than I like Halen. That went to the Giants. Siaki Ika from Baylor, the defensive tackle from Baylor. So that's the third round, 35th pick. In the fourth round, the 9th pick, they got DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones is a real right tackle. All right, he's a mountain of a man, and they got him in the fourth round when people were talking about early second for him. That's an amazing pick. Then it went fourth round, 24th pick, Isaiah McGuire, defensive end from Missouri. Lots of talent right there. The fifth round, 6th pick, they got Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That's the quarterback from UCLA that Martin was talking about how much he loved. That was crazy. That was good with that one. Then 5th round, 8th pick, we got Cameron Mitchell, cornerback of Northwestern. Another Northwestern guy. I don't know. We'll see. And the steal of the draft for me was the 6th round, 13th pick. They got Luke Whippler, the center from Ohio State. That is a steal, guys. I don't know if you guys understand. Luke Whippler was probably ranked number 5 center going into the draft. I don't know how he fell. He didn't have a great pro day. He's not as fast, but he's a monster. He's literally a monster, and he's gonna walk right in being the backup to the center. But I think he's gonna be a guy that you're gonna get soon, very soon. So yeah, that's all the draft picks. They only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything was from the 3rd round to the 6th round, but they got value at every single position. So I love it.
Oops, I'm hitting things. Don't mind me.
So what do you think about those draft picks, though?
Oh, well, I mean, they got a steal with Cedric Tillman. I think he grew up because his dad was a pro football player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he already knows how to be that. So, I mean, I don't know. I like Cedric Tillman. Obviously, Ika, defensive tackle out of Baylor, is pretty good. And then even like you said, Luke Whippler at Ohio State. Like, what the heck, man?
Like, how did you get that at the 6th round? You got better center. Look, Washington's been looking for a center. We needed a center in Washington all this time, and Luke Whippler win the 6th round.
We got a center. I don't mind the one.
I like Whippler more. That's why I said.
But like, I saw mock drafts where Luke Whippler was going in like the 2nd round.
In the 2nd round, I saw mock drafts where DeJuan Jones was going in the 2nd round.
So I'm just like, what happened? What don't we know?
And even if he was hurt, I mean, you're a center. I mean,
but even Dorian Thompson-Robinson in the 5th round, that could be a steal.
Super athletic quarterback that can do it all. He has a great arm. Just got to work on his accuracy. You could break him down, and really have someone that you can sell off later if Deshaun is your guy.
Yeah, Whippler wasn't even the only offensive lineman from Ohio State that they took.
That's what I'm saying. Like they kept on going. Jones. That's what I said. DeJuan Jones was a 2nd rounder. He was a second. Mm-hmm. There's no doubt. Me being a Chicago fan, I was looking at DeJuan Jones because I'm like, man, if we could get him in the 3rd or 4th round, shoot, we don't need waste that the 10.
2 2nd round talents in the 4th and 6th. That's insane.
Yep. I mean, Cedric Tillman is a 2nd round talent too. Kind of 3rd. Like it's.
So it's like they didn't have a 2nd round talent, but yet they still scored 3 2nd round picks.
Exactly.
I mean, for what they had, they knocked it out of the park. I'm not gonna lie.
That makes me really feel like this team could be dangerous this year. So I know we're going to end up talking about their schedule, but this team is a scary team. If I'm a team in their division, I don't want to see them. I do not want to see this team. So. All right, what do we got next? We're going to pick our players.
We're going to do the. Having a tough time today. All right, that's down here. A brand new segment that we started. There it is.
Taking gambling. Hell no.
Yep. There we go. All right, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I will go first.
You're the guest. You go first.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna take the obvious guys, because obviously if you're taking anyone, it's Myles Garrett or Deshaun Watson or Nick Chubb, because those guys are amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But here, my taking this week will be David Njoku. I'm taking in David Njoku. I think he is the key. I said it earlier. I think he's the key to their offense. If we unlock him, everything falls into place, and this team could easily have 10 or 11 wins. That is the key. He's the guy I'm taking.
Makes sense.
All right. Who would I take? My risk is going to be like Zadarius Smith, because he didn't have a good season last year, right? But I feel like this is going to be a bounce back season for him, and I'm very interested to see what happens. I know he's 30 years old, and I know that's kind of the scary part, but I feel like at defensive end, you could play to your 35. So even though it's not like a short term, you can still do this, have the same guy for 5 years and be okay. But it's a risk because he is 30 years old, and he didn't have a great season last year. As far as someone I do want to touch with a 10-foot pole, hell no, I'm not touching them. I'm probably going to surprise a lot of people, and I'm going to say Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch Amari Cooper. I don't trust him as a number 1 wide receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if Elijah Moore ends up being the number 1 wide receiver on this team. And no, Amari Cooper is only 29 years old, but I don't think it's worth the draft stock. So you have to take him in the first or second round, right? And he might not produce for you enough. So I don't want to touch him at all. So those are my 3 guys.
And you took 2 of mine.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You didn't do my take.
All right, so who are you taking then?
My take is Cedric Tillman.
I like that. I like that.
One, like you said, Amari Cooper isn't a number 1 receiver. Plus, he's 29. Plus, I look at the people who are here, like the people who are in front of him, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, and Amari Cooper. They're very solid. I do like them. But are they good enough to where they're going to pay them money when you know how much money they're going to have to start paying Deshaun Watson?
Well, I think Elijah Moore is pretty settled.
Is he? I thought he was still on his rookie contract.
I thought they had to pay him. I thought they had to extend him.
He's only 23.
He's only 23?
Yeah.
Elijah Moore is younger than Cedric? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, they're about the same age, even though Elijah
they're
Moore
both 23.
Yeah,
they're both
10
23.
years. But yeah, I just feel like Amari Cooper for sure, maybe even Donovan Peoples-Jones, like Deshaun Watson's going to start commanding that salary. It's going to be eaten from the cap space. And then I think that's going to – so if you are in a position to where you get Cedric Tillman, knowing taxi squad him for a year, and then by next year, who knows? He could definitely be taking a run for that number 1 spot a receiver, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I do 6'3".
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
215.
Like he is the exact size that you want. He's 6'3", he has a 215. He's fast. He has good hands. He takes the top off of defense. He's everything you want. And he played in a pro style offense. So he's not coming in, he's not gonna be scared.
Yeah. So he's my take. My gamble was Darius Smith, but I guess we'll switch it to Anthony Walker.
All right.
Because he's only 27, but he's another one that I can't remember if he's ever played a whole season.
Yeah.
Because when he's on the field, he's great, but unfortunately he just has an injury history with him. So it's like you get him, but are you going to be able to use him, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So that's why he's my gamble. Here we go. And then for as far as not taking, I mean, shockingly, there aren't that many people here on this team, honestly.
It's a very solid team. That's just what it is.
But I don't know. For me, I'd probably say Dalvin Tomlinson. Like, I love Dalvin Tomlinson. He's a solid defensive tackle. He's going to help stop the run game. He's definitely going to help free up Myles Garrett. But unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to be putting up like crazy fantasy numbers.
No, I think what you're saying is exactly right, because the whole thing was they run away from Myles Garrett, and Dalvin Thompson is going to play next to him. You're not going to make the plays running away because Myles Garrett is following him on the backside. Like,
not just that, but Dalvin Tomlinson's not exactly a runner.
That's 6'2",
he's a bigger boy.
Yeah,
he's a bigger boy.
He's like, I ain't running for nothing unless it's dinner.
He's your more prototypical defensive tackle that I'm used to seeing, not the newer ones with Aaron Donald or
Elijah
Jonathan Allen or Elijah Kancey.
Yeah, Kancey, yeah. You don't want any of that.
Yeah. So I think he'll be great for why he's there. Plus, he's also hitting that 30 more. And, not that that's necessarily the end-all, be-all, but that is a prototypical time when players do start to trend downwards. So just from a fantasy perspective, I wouldn't take that.
Agreed.
So,
all right. Well, I guess it's time to look at the schedule then.
Everybody's favorite part, man. Want to read it off?
All right. Let's see if we can pull it up, and then we'll read it off. All right, so the Cleveland Browns schedule this year. So they start September 10th against the Bengals. Then we go at Steelers, 9-18. Then they go to the Titans, so for a bye week, September 24th. Then they got the Ravens, October 1st. 49ers, October 15th. Then we got the Colts, October 22nd. Seahawks, October 29th. The Cardinals for another bye week, November 5th. At the Ravens, November 12th. Steelers, November 19th. The Broncos, November 26th, right around Thanksgiving. Then another bye week, December 3rd, against the Rams, at the Rams. This is vacation, really.
Mm-hmm.
Then they
go
to
check out the sites in LA.
Exactly. Just sit there and relax, whatever. Then they got the Jags, December 10th. The Bears, December 17th. At the Texans, right, the Christmas Eve, which is another good one for them. The Jets, December 28th. And then back at the Bengals to end the season, January 7th. So,
right off the bat, I'm just going to go out and say that is a horrible bye week.
Oh, well, yeah.
Week 5.
Week 5 is the worst week.
They do have the Cardinals and the Rams, so they have a couple extra buys. But
that's exactly what I say. Yeah.
That's rough.
So you're expected to go 13 straight weeks.
That's oof.
You know, another thing I already see is they don't have a Thursday night game.
They have 2 primetime games.
Oh, no, they have a Thursday night game at week 17. So the reason I say that is because if they had a Thursday night game, like, say, week 10, week 11, that's really like another bye week because you get 10 days off in between those Thursday night games. So Thursday night games actually mean a lot for you.
Yeah.
To give you mini bye weeks. And you won't get one. So you have your bye weeks week 5, and your next mini bye week is not till week 17. The season's over.
Right.
Like, what? That's awful.
2 primetime games because week 2 they play the Steelers on Monday night. So,
and that's not. I mean, Steelers. I know why the Browns won't have a lot of primetime games because they don't want to showcase Deshaun Watson right now. The NFL's not crazy on doing that. You know, but this team could throw a monkey wrench in a lot of their plans for this entire division. Nobody wants to see them.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Let's go over what we think they'll do.
I'm interested to see what you say
because I've been kind of looking it over. I'm going to skip their first game. I think they'll beat the Tennessee Titans. Man, see, the division games are the weirdest because
I feel like Cleveland's going to split with everyone in their division.
I think so. So if we do that, I'll say they'll beat the Bengals, lose to the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be 3-1 going into the bye week. I can't see them beating the 49ers.
Yeah, well, it's hard, but they could because it's leading after the bye week.
That's true too. They'll have an extra week to practice.
So they have 2 weeks to practice getting ready for.
I'm still just gonna go with my intuition and say the 49ers win. They'll beat the Colts, so that's win 4.
Mm-hmm.
They'll beat the Cardinals, it's win 5.
Mm-hmm.
They'll beat the Steelers, that's win 6.
So as I said, they split with the Ravens, right? So
yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I want to say they lose to the Broncos in Denver.
I
could go either way.
Yeah.
The Rams will be 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jacksonville will beat them.
I don't know. Jacksonville can beat them, but they could. But I know that the Bears will lose to them. In my opinion, I've said that on every show. I think
so. So that's 8.
8. Texans 9.
So New York is basically because I'm gonna have them losing to Cincy.
Mm-hmm.
So then, do they beat New York on Thursday night?
Do they beat New York on Thursday or the Denver Broncos on week 12? That's the difference between 9 and 10.
I think that's going to be a really good game because I think both teams are kind of built similar.
That's 9 to 10 wins is where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm at 9 right now. I'm deciding. I think they lose to the Jets just because I think Aaron Rodgers.
I think the Jets will need it in. They'll need it.
I think the Jets will need it. So 9 wins is what I have.
I think I'm at 10.
So you at 10?
I think they beat Denver. Okay,
so Denver is where. Yeah, and the funny thing is, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. Denver's a really big question mark. And I didn't do the Denver show. Martin did that one by himself. So I was dying, sick.
Yeah, I remember. And I was like, I wish I could jump on with you, Martin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I felt so bad. But I didn't even do the Broncos. I know Martin feels like they're going to bounce back, and I do like Sean Payton.
I do too.
But I think it's something that's going to take more than a year to really get somewhere.
I think Russell bounces back. I don't know if Denver bounces back all the way. I still think they're the third best team in that division, which is easy to say because Las Vegas is booty right now. So
right. So I'm just going to give the Broncos that win just because it's in Denver. That was my deciding.
But I feel like my question was, who's better? Who do I believe more in? Deshaun bouncing back or Russell bouncing back? And because I'm not sure Williams is going to be really good this season, because usually when you tear your ACL, it takes another year for you to really bounce back. And we're looking at Deshaun, Nick Chubb, or, I feel like I'm going to go with Cleveland. But it's okay. I understand going with Denver. I totally understand. But that's our tipping point. If you're at 9, I'm at 10. It's because of that.
So, interesting enough, you go 10, I go 9.
What's the over/under for that?
9.5.
9.5.
9.5. Basically what we said. That's fun. Yeah, I was looking it up right now, and everywhere I saw said 9.5.
That's exactly what they're saying. They're like, it could be this. It could be this. Yeah.
Oh, this one says 8.5, but so it's like 8.5, 9.5.
Well, I'm okay with saying 9. We can say 9. Let's go 9 on the thing. So when we get to the chart, we talk to Martin. Let's say 9.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we will not have the chart, which kind of sucks because it's one of my favorite parts of our shows. Because Martin has that on his computer, so we don't have access to it, unfortunately. So
that's right. I'll hack it later, guys. I'll hack it later.
We'll hack it. All right. So that's the Cleveland Browns. Anything else you really feel like we need to bring up, or?
No, it's just weird that this division, we're literally going to say that everyone in this division is going to have 9 wins or more, which is crazy. Because last year they almost
2 of them at 10, and the Ravens and the Browns we both have at 9.5. We have 10, 10, 9.5, 9.5. This division is going to be nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. And I don't see a weak point. There's the only thing with this division is that you don't have off week. But luckily they're playing the Rams, the Cardinals, the Texans. So that and the Tennessee Titans. That's their off weeks.
Yeah.
I'm literally saying Cleveland has 9.5, going to win 9.5 games, and they will be the 4th team in this division. with 9.5 wins. That's crazy. So, but no, that's it. I mean, I think this is a very interesting game, interesting team. I cannot wait to see them play. I can't wait to see how this season turns out. And we're so close. Do you realize we're 60 days away from opening game?
I'm excited. Man. Football will be back soon. We're less than a month. We're like 2-3 weeks away from the Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game. We're 3 weeks away from Hall of Fame game. Yep. August 3rd, I believe it is.
And then we have preseason. Should be interesting. All leading up to week 1.
Oh, my God. I am so ready.
Detroit, Kansas City game. And then on top of that, we only have one team left now.
I know.
The San Francisco 49ers, which hopefully at some point after this drops, we'll get out. That was Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate you letting me come on with you. This is a lot of fun.
Appreciate you coming on with me, man.
Oh, this is a lot of fun. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited to even see where the chart really puts everybody at. So I mean, let's go. Let's go.
All right. Well, I don't usually say this, but I guess subscribe if you liked what you watched. Trying to get on to 400 to give away our 5th technical jersey.
Yeah, 5th jersey. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, and guys, see us tonight. I'm going to try to put this out Wednesday. So we go live Wednesday nights. We're going to definitely, what are we doing? Which division are we doing? The South, AFC South?
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to do a draft.
So look forward to that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
All Jacksonville Jaguars.
So we're at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 6 Pacific. We are going to do a draft with only the AFC South. That's going to be our focus, all the players that we're drafting, and we're going to talk about the team, and we're not including the quarterbacks. So if you guys get a chance, join us tonight. We're going to be doing that, and we'll have a whole lot of fun. But besides that, this has been great. Thanks. Yeah.
It's been fun. Thanks for watching if you got this far.
Yeah.
See you
all right,
later.
guys. Thanks.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living.